Welcome to the E&M Audio Media Services Show. I'm one of your co-hosts, Professor Mark, along with my co-host.
I am Mr. Earl Johnson Jr., better truly known as the healing voice of the world.
This show is all about creating audio shows with us to benefit yourself, your community, and the world. Now on with the show. Welcome back to another E&M Audio Media Services Show. I'm your host, Professor Mark, along with my co-host,
Mr. Earl Johnson Jr., better truly known as the healing voice of the world, guys.
Before we get into the meat of our show, just want to, talk with you a little bit about some of the other content that we have. We mentioned it before, but I want to mention it again because we really want you to tune into all of the great content we have there. We are bringing fire on these mics on so many shows, so let's get into it. We have this show, the E&M Audio Media Services Show, which you can find on YouTube and all your podcast platforms. You want to reach out to us at mediaem04@gmail.com. You get that free consultation. We figure out how to do your show. You heard us before talk about that. Reach out to us and let's get you started on your own journey into being a master communicator, which is also another show we have, the Master Communicator Show, which you can find at www.patreon.com/the Master Communicator Show. And you can also reach us by emailing us at, again, mediaem04@gmail.com. Let us help you become a master communicator. And then we also have our most recent show, which I know you guys enjoy because I've been seeing the numbers. The Art of Highly Successful, Practical, Commonsensical Political Communication, Political Campaign Success 1. It's an awesome show. You want to be a campaign manager. You want to be a candidate. You want to be a great volunteer. You want to be a staff member. You want to be involved in the electoral process, campaign process. This is the show for you because we teach you how to become a master communicator, use the words and phrases to get those yeses over those no's, and to help make a campaign so highly successful. You can reach us at tahspc@gmail.com, and to get there, you can reach us at www.patreon.com/Political Campaign Success 1.
Absolutely, guys. Hey, guys, this is the E&M Audio Media Service Show here. We hope that you go to all of the shows and check out those shows because you know what? 2024 is approaching us for election again. November 2024. We want all of you guys to participate into the upcoming elections that we have for this coming November as well as 2024. And if you want to participate in any campaign, come and get the training, listen to that particular show on Patreon. Can you give them that Patreon address to that political show again there, Professor Mark?
Are you sure just that one? We got so many shows. I mean, we got other shows coming up.
I know, but you know what? Say that one again because I know everybody want to participate in the politics of this thing, right?
All right. So the show is called The Art of Highly Successful, Practical, Commonsensical Political Communication /Political Success 1. I'll say that again. The Art of Highly Successful, Practical, Commonsensical Political Communication /Political Success 1. And you can find it on patreon.com at www.patreon.com/Political Campaign Success 1. And if you want to email us, not if you want to email us, I know you want to email us. I know you're going to email us because you want to get that training. You reach us at tahspc@gmail.com.
Great. Fantastic, guys. Check out all of our shows because there is a lot of information there for you. A lot of stuff is going to help you. And hey, listen, entertainment, of course, is all in all the things that we do.
It's exactly. It's called infotainment.
Infotainment.
I mean, because today I know we're going to be talking about success and not having so much success in this podcasting game. And one of the keys to making sure you're having success is to marry information and entertainment. That's where we come with this term, infotainment. It's so easy. It is so easy to put a product out there that isn't the hottest, isn't the best, isn't going to get you the numbers. And then you're looking around at your numbers and wondering why the hell isn't anybody listening to this show? Why isn't anybody watching? But it's so important that you remember in this podcasting game, the importance of information and entertainment. Infotainment. What do you think about that, Brother Earl?
Yeah, I here's the thing. You know, I mean, if you want to be successful, you have to do successful things. And that's the way it works, you know, and being successful is not just simply having your information that you just want to put out there. That's not how it works, right? You have to come with so many different pieces, right? Of in order to make this thing work, right? And we were just talking about someone who got into the game of in the business of what we do and having audio shows, and they are a celeb, and they haven't had success, and so part of their publishing for their audio shows canceled them. You know, and so that's where you don't want to be, right? You want to be ahead of the game. You want to have the training that you need in order to be successful in this business. Now, if that person, Professor Mark, would have came and got the training with us, that person will still have her shows, her contract, and will still probably be getting more contracts, because our training is what keeps you in the game. Because you can't, if you don't know something, then you just don't know it, right? You're just going off of what you know in the moment, right? And that's not good enough. That's the reason why coming to us and getting the training of how to be an on-air personality and what it takes to do that, it's either you're going to win or you're not going to win. And winning is what it's all about if you're going to get into this business of having your own shows, right? You just can't come and throw something on the wall and think it's going to stick, right? That's not how it works, right, Professor Martin?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I just want to make sure that people know the person we're talking about is not a certain royal. That's not who we're talking about. It's another person. So, you know, we don't want any hate out there. I love that particular royal from Florida, so it's not her we're talking about. Just want to make that clear. But absolutely, Brother Earl is right. If you want to get in this game, if you want to do it right, I mean, if you've been a listener to our show, you have listened to from us to the beginning when we had one show. And I remember when I was getting my training from Brother Earl, you know, and the first time I was like, I don't know, this is a lot. A 30-minute show. Can we just do 15 minutes? And that's a running joke between us, you know, 15 minutes. And now, you know, taking it from doing, you know, 15 minutes to 30 minutes, an hour-long show and an hour-and-a-half show. And there's so much that goes into it. I mean, you listen to this music. Brother Earl, I mean, just talking to him, he's been making music since what, 2004?
Actually, yes, 2004.
So I mean, he's been making this music for almost 20 years, basically 20 years, okay? That goes back to creating that. Then he's here working the board as I'm looking at him right now. He's got to work the board. Then you have to have the equipment, okay? And we're just talking about paying off all of this damn equipment. Okay, then you got to have the laptop, okay? Then you have to have all the different programs. So there are so many different jobs. I mean, just think about a television show, how you have all these different producers, the hair, the makeup, the on-air talent. It's just so many things that go into it. So if you want to do a show right, if you want to do anything right, you have to take the proper steps. You have to have all of the things in order to make it work. So you just can't expect to show up on day one, not have any training, not have any real concept, not have any music, not have the board. I'm rambling on a little bit here, but you have to have your stuff in order. You have to have take so many steps. So if you want this to work, you have to be willing to, one, come to us, get the training, be willing to learn, and not just expect that you're going to show up on day one and make magic. Now, maybe there are some people out there who are just prepared, primed, and ready, but for most people, I'd say almost everyone, you have to take steps. You have to be prepared to take steps to get this where you want it to go. So that's why you reach out to us at mediaem04@gmail.com and help us help you. Okay, we want to help you, but you got to be reaching out to us first. We'll get that first free consultation. Next thing you know, you're going to be on air with us doing multiple shows, and it's all about generating that revenue. This is another thing, Brother Earl and I was just talking about. There's some people who have this is all they do now. They podcast. That's their whole career. You go on YouTube, you see all these content creators. I was actually watching another content creator, and I forget the name of the site, But it's basically like Billboard. You know, you see number one, who's doing hot and who's selling records. They have it for podcasters, and there's some people out there that are making millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars off shows, and all they do is podcasts. And they did what we did. They got the equipment, they got the training, they put out content out there, and like it didn't happen overnight, but over time they've been able to really generate revenue. And a lot of people were people of color, which is something that is a passion for Brother Earl and I, to make sure that we're reaching out to communities that traditionally have not had an opportunity to get in this game and to make a lot of money. So the opportunity for success is there for you. All you have to do is be willing to take the chance, take the opportunity, and you could be talking about anything. I mean, you go on YouTube, you go on these podcasts, there are podcasts about all kinds of subject matter. So there's not any content that someone would not be willing to pay for. It's just a matter of you stepping up and being ready to step into your greatness and get on the mic. Brother Earl?
Yeah, and the thing about it, guys, is that everybody has content that someone else want to consume. Believe it or not, that's a true statement. That's a true statement. But here's the thing about it. How do you deliver that content? Whether it's going to create your success or your failure, right? And regardless if you have a product, a service, or just information, you want to be the best at it. You want to be able to deliver it right, create an audience so you can get financially compensated for bringing this information to the world. Bringing your product to the world. And that's what we do. We give you that kind of training. We give you that kind of knowledge, and we build your personality. Absolutely. So your personality becomes really your brand. It becomes your brand, right? Whether you have toothpicks or toilet paper, whatever it is you're talking about, right? So learning how to use you as your brand to represent you in the right way will stimulate a big audience. And when you stimulate your audience, guess what? You become a magnet for success, for positive success. Not only positive success, you find that your wallet will get fat because now you understand what it takes to be in this biz, and that's simply what it's all about. It's the personality drive. Learning how to have that kind of personality, that winning kind of personality, that bold kind of personality, and that personality that make people feel good. Absolutely, guys. And listen, come get the training for us. Let's discuss about your show, and we will definitely help you with your show from top to bottom. Distribute your show, put your show out, produce your shows in so many different ways. This is what we do here at E&M Audio Media Services. We help you to get out there. So you can be the best at what you want to do here. And plus, listen, this is the 21st century. Welcome to the 21st century. This is the new way of getting out there. And anybody can get out there, but you want to be successful at it, right? We were just talking about someone who still is a celeb themselves,
and
right? Not a royal, right? And have failure, but failure is not nothing to stop you. We all go through failure every now and then. But the thing about it is, you don't want that kind of failure in doing this kind of work, right? Come to us, get this information, and let's keep it pushing. Absolutely. Right, Professor Mark?
Absolutely. I was just thinking about our journey that we started with one show, and now we have 3 shows. I just mentioned them in the beginning, working on other shows, and it's just amazing where you can start. Like, listening to myself on these shows start from not having any experience at all as far as being on the mic, but having that, background experience, political experience, so I have something to speak towards, but not having a voice and talking to all the different things that I've mentioned on these multiple shows, to come from that to now where it's not really anything to be getting on a mic and speaking for 30 minutes, an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it could be. So it's been quite a journey, and if I can do it, I know you can do it. And I was just thinking when Brother Earl was just talking about the world we're in, the monetizing, what you can do. I mean, there's some people who, like I mentioned, on this billboard, it was through super chat. So people actually, and you go on YouTube and listen to enough shows, you'll see it. They'll ask for super chats, and people send them $2, $10, $20, $50. Some of these shows, people send them $100 just to leave a comment in their show. And then there's some people who maybe don't have that model. Maybe they just have a lot of followers, and YouTube or whoever is compensating them that way because they just have that many damn followers. And I've seen some content creators where they started with nothing, then they got a couple of hundred, then they got a couple of thousand, then they have 10,000, next thing you know, 30, 50. And there's some people out there with 200, 400,000 people, and they may not do the whole super chat thing, and they're getting paid just to have that. And they're getting paid enough to where they don't have to work a job. And they're talking about all kind of things. There's one guy, again, I like Star Wars. There's one guy who just talks about Star Wars, and he's got good numbers. He's got enough to where he's just talking about the books and different things, and he can just make a living off of that. So there's no subject that maybe it's gardening. Maybe you want to talk about astronomy. Maybe you want to talk about novels or something like that. Whatever. You just think about your job, whatever your career is. You could be talking about that career when you get home, even making money off just talking about what you did. There's so many avenues. So what's to stop you? All you have to do is send an email, and you're off and running. And like Brother Earl said, and I mentioned before, there are a lot of things that go into it. Especially if you want to do it correctly, because anyone can just get on there and say, but can you really, galvanize an audience? We have I'm looking just right now. I'm looking at the mics. I'm looking at the headphones we're wearing. I'm looking at the board he has right there, the laptop, my laptop. Usually we're writing scripts. The actual training on how to be on a mic. It takes a lot. So there's a difference between putting something out there and then what are the results you want to get. Do you want to be successful, or do you not want to be successful? Do you just want to put something out there? And I don't think anyone starts anything just to be not successful. Who the hell plays a game to lose? They're there to win. And like Brother Earl said, you might not have success like the person we're mentioning, but still there's an opportunity there for you. So just avail yourself. Reach out to us at mediaem04@gmail.com. Like I said, we'll assess where you're at, talk about your ideas, figure out a way to work forward. What do you think, Brother Earl?
I think that is perfect. That is perfect right there. So here's the thing, right, guys? That's the reason why training is so important. That's the reason why we train you, because we learn to take your passion. What is passion? A lot of people, well, I want to talk about I'm passionate about this or sports or whatever it is, right? Well, let's turn that passion into your own audio show, and your audio show from that passion, which we train you how to have that passion, how to create that passion, how to just create your brand and what you're talking about, how to get your audience excited about what you're talking about. And all of a sudden you doing this all the time. And guess what? When you do this all the time and you create a fan base and people want to hear you, and people actually spending money with you, and the publishers are spending money with you, next thing you find yourself in a whole different arena. You're simply talking for a living. You become that person who talks for a living, right? And you're talking about the things you are passionate about. Right. But it's so important to give us a call, contact us for that free consultation, so you can move into this direction. You can move, because listen, you don't want to be the only one sitting on a log. Everybody else is in the biz and you're not. So be the one that say, you know what, today is the day I'm going to contact E&M Audio Media Services so I can get into the audio business and audio podcasting business and get something else going on. Now, we talked about before in other shows, we talked about, especially if you have a business. This is one of the things, especially people of color. And we like everybody, but people of color is a lot to talk about, all the way from food to hair, hairstyles, and there's so many things that, listen, there's an audience for, because people wants to know. There are so many things that we can do and talk about, because it's information for other people, and we can create shows around informational things, right? That's going to be beneficial. Do you know that what you know somebody else may not know, but want to know from you and is willing to pay for that information. That's how it works. So expand your mind, because you have that. You sitting on actually in your brain, you're sitting on a gold mine, right, Professor Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're sitting on a gold mine in your brain.
You are. Like I said, especially if you're, like you just mentioned food, you just mentioned hair, big things in our community.
Yes.
Let's say you're a chef. You can do a whole show around your restaurant, or different recipes, or different places you traveled and eaten. I mean, there's so many hair. You know, there's a whole hair industry. You could be talking about different styles, and not only could you eventually move from an audio show, you can do a whole, visual show and really tie it in, so you can create a whole new revenue stream off of your profession and figure out a way to monetize it. You can have guests on. You can travel and go to different places. There are just so many different ways that you can use your current profession to build this into there, especially if you're a small business owner. That's why I really see, small business owners, they're doing, traditional advertisement, they got emails, doing all that kind of stuff, but building a podcast into their business, like maybe you're like, there's a local Black-owned bookshop in Oakland. I'm thinking, what if they had some of the authors come in and read their stuff and they interviewed them or something? Just off the top of my head, just different ways that you could figure out a way to include a podcast in your existing business and, talk about it. Or if you're an employee somewhere else, but you have a specific skill set at the business, maybe you're not taking any trade secrets or anything like that, but just your experience and putting it on there. And maybe you're helping someone else out, and maybe you're not doing a Patreon, but you're getting so many people coming there as you're getting money off of it. So there's just so many ways to work this in, and all it takes is the will and an idea. And when you marry that, you come to us, and we're going to turn it into infotainment, information and entertainment, because you can have the information but not the entertainment, and you can have the entertainment without the information, but they don't work as well. But you marry those together, and then you got it.
Then you got it. You got the full package, guys. But it's nothing like coming to us and getting the training and let us produce your show, because we train you how to be on these mics. If you want to absolutely be on the mic presence, you learn all of that good stuff from us, guys. So here's the deal, because there's a lot of fresh ideas. I know, guys, that each and every one of us have some ideas in our head. You do not want to be the person that say, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, right, in your life, because time is moving on. Life is precious. Now is the time to create this kind of audio shows for yourself that's going to make you happy, that's going to create a revenue stream for you, that's going to make your family happy at you, right? Because now, you're going to have content that's going to be used forever and a day, depending on you. And guess what? You can continue to get revenue off of this audio stream forever and a day, right? So learn to create something that's probably can be generational for your family, can use toward your grandkids and great grandkids and so on and so forth. So think of creating from audio shows that we're talking about to creating something that can be a blessing or something great for generations to come in your family. It's going to be able to have that information that people can use for generations to come. Right. I tell you right now, I have shows out that I started back in 08, and a lot of those shows now are generating, pretty good, and for generations to come, and so I'm going to be getting residuals off of those shows for generation to come. Even when I'm not here, my family can get residuals off of those shows. So think about yourself in that way, and think about your family, what you're building for generations to come in your family. And this is one of the ways to do it, So think about that, guys, and come to us. Let us create audio shows, opportunity for you. Come get the training, because listen, we started this show talking about success and failure. And we just happened to listen to something about someone who's famous, but not the royals. So who decided to get off into this biz, and it was a failure. But a failure can't keep you down. But again, we want to make sure nobody experience failure in this business. That's the reason why you come to who Professor Mark?
E&M Audio Media Services, specifically Brother Earl, the Healing Voice, and Professor Mark. That's who you come talk to. Send us an email at EM, you reach out to us. All you got to do is media EM04@gmail.com. MEDIAEM04@gmail.com. That's all it takes. It's being willing to marry that entertainment and information. Infotainment.
There it is, guys. There it is. E&M Audio Media Services, guys. We do it all here for you. Great show ideas. That's whether you have a business or whether you have just simple information that you want to give to the world, and the world will give back to you. That's how it works, guys, for generations to come. I'm telling you, this is a situation where this could be very, very vital for your family and for yourself. So think of it on those kind of levels, and the people we are reaching are people all over the world. It's not just your local community where Tim, your next door neighbor, just hear you.
Brother Earl, just tell them where's some of the places that people listen to some of our shows. Where are they from?
They're from all over the place. From Australia, from Sydney, Australia. Love you, Sydney, Australia. You're one of the places who love E&M Audio Media Services. We got Canada. We got the Netherlands. We got even Russia. You'd be surprised. All of the places, like I said, London, England, people in New Zealand, all over the place, and Croatia. It was amazing to see those numbers from Croatia.
And what other medium can you get that kind of connection besides the podcasting, where someone's actually listening to your authentic voice and making a connection like that?
Yes. And guys, this is the way to go. The world is a small place now, and you got to realize. So you building your brand, you're building your audience, and you building your wallets too at the same time. All of these things can happen. It's like riding a bicycle, chewing gum, and throwing plates at the same time. Right. And we're constantly teaching you when you come with us how to use your creativity to create better shows. So you come to us, we have a show idea, we work with that show ideas, but we're constantly having you to readjust and build those shows that's going to be more creative, more responsive to your audience, and grow you out. So you'll understand how this works. We never leave you alone. We always work with you as long as you work with us, and we're here to what? To make you highly successful, where that word failure doesn't exist in our world. Only thing exists is what? Us keeping it moving and having positive success. Right, Professor Mark?
That's right. All it takes is reaching out to us and getting that idea, carving a path out, your little lane in this podcasting game, and we got off to the races. And you're building content and you're making money.
Hey, that sounds like a good thing to me, guys. So think of ideas, and if you can't think of anything, just contact us anyway, because once we have that initial consultation, and we can go over some bright ideas or things you want to have an audio show on, you'd be surprised. You're going to surprise yourself at what we come up with and how we can work with you and train you and create your shows and things of that nature. If you don't, say for yourself, do it for your family. Do it for your family and family to come. Because once it's out there, you'd be surprised. It could be a generational thing that creates a lot of wealth for your family.
I'd say, think about whatever your passion is. What are you really passionate about? Is it music? Is it art? Is it cuisine? Is it culture? Is it history? Is it politics? Is it, a story? And and let us help you find a way to build off of that. Whatever you're interested in, like Brother Earl said, there's somebody willing to pay for what you have to say in your expertise. There's just so many options. Anything you can think of, there's a market for it. So we can take that idea, build around it, and build you a show. And you can be putting some content out there that you really are passionate about, that you care about, and also getting paid. I don't think there can be anything better than that. And eventually, you get so good, that's what you're doing for a living. That's it. Let's find a way to get that information and the entertainment married together, and you're off to the races.
Absolutely, guys. So, guys, we have come to the end of another show, E&M Audio Media Services show. Guys, again, success and failure is in your hand. And we would like for you to have positive success as we move forward here at E&M Audio Media Service. We want you to have positive success with us so we can create your audio shows. That's going to be what? A gift, not only to you, but a gift to your family and a gift to the world, guys. Guys, make sure you contact us at MEDIAEM04@gmail.com. Guys, listen to our other shows that we have available for you. And guys, hey, Professor Mark told you where to find those shows. Absolutely, find those shows and listen to those shows, guys. Any last words you got to say to the folks out there, Professor Mark?
Find out whatever your passion is, and let us marry that with information, entertainment, and you'll be making cash. Let's do it.
Let's do it, guys. Let's do it, guys. Guys, we out of here. Here's the thing. Listen to all our shows, guys. We want to thank you so much for listening to this E&M Audio Media Service show, guys. And here's what we want you to do. Go out and tell as many people as you possibly can about our shows and get them to listen to our shows, guys. And one more thing I want you to do for me. Stay tuned for more shows from us and go out and have a great day. On purpose, guys. We out of here. See ya. Hear from you on the next one. We out, guys.
Hey, this is E&M Audio Media Services. I'm Professor Mark, along with my co-host, Earl Johnson Jr., better truly known as the Healing Voice. Did you know that we have audio shows that you can listen to right now? They are E&M Audio Media Services show that you can always get on all major podcasting platforms, along with the Master Communicator Show and the Art of Highly Successful, Practical, Commonsensical, Political Communication, Political Campaign Success 1. You can find these shows on Patreon. There are many more shows to come. To contact us, email us at MEDIAEM04@gmail.com. That is MEDIAEM04@gmail.com. This is E&M Audio Media Services. Thank you for listening to all of our shows and many more shows to come. Thank you for listening to the E&M Audio Media Service show. If you have a show idea in mind and you would love to monetize that show, contact us at MEDIAEM04@gmail.com. That is MEDIAEM04@gmail.com. Now go out and tell as many people as you possibly can about all of the E&M Audio Media Service shows. And again, thank you for listening to the E&M Audio Media Service show.